Tonight, federal prosecutors say when they searched the phone of an American Airlines mechanic who worked in Miami, they found an ISIS video showing people being killed. They say he forwarded that video to someone else and included a message wishing that Allah would use his divine powers to harm non-Muslims. The judge called the new evidence disconcerting and said it suggests the mechanic could be sympathetic to terrorists.
The insider threat is the soft underbelly of airport security.
His name is Abdul Majid Maruf Ahmed Alani, and he was arrested 2 weeks ago, charged with tampering with a flight sensor on an American 737. He told investigators he did it as part of a pay dispute to force a repair and get more overtime. Court documents say after tampering with the sensor, he went into the plane's cockpit to be sure the problem would show up on the instrument panel, which it did. So the flight from Miami to the Bahamas never took off.
And Tower American 2834, we got to work a maintenance issue here. I just had some lights come on.
Ilani is 60, a naturalized U.S. citizen born in Iraq, and has been an airline mechanic for 30 years. American says tonight safety is its top priority, and he's been fired. The backgrounds of people who service airplanes on the ground at airports worldwide has long been a security concern.
That requires ongoing monitoring, ongoing security checks, and background checks of all those who are touching the aircraft and airport security.
Officials say tonight that while the discovery of the ISIS material on the mechanic's phone is disturbing, it's still possible he tampered with the plane just to get overtime, but now they're investigating whether his motives were more complicated. His lawyer says Alani never intentionally put people in danger.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.